Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am happy to welcome you all for our online teaching academy Ekalaiva. Class 9, subject Biology, Unit 2, Kingdom Animalia. Introduction about Kingdom Animalia. The variety of living organisms surrounding us is incomprehensible. Incomprehensible means unable to understand. So, different variety of living organisms are surrounding us. We cannot identify, we cannot able to know the names. So, we feel very difficult to identify, unable to understand. Okay. So, nearly 1.5 million species of living organisms which have been described, and they are different from one another. The uniqueness, the only uniqueness of this is mainly due to the diversity in the life forms. They are all living organisms, they exist in the earth. Okay. Every organisms exhibits variation among themselves. They have the variation in their external appearance, internal structure, behavior, mode of nutrition, reproduction, etc. So, each one organisms are differ from one another on the basis of external appearance, that is morphological appearance, internal structure, behavior, mode of nutrition, mode of living, reproduction, etc. Okay. The study of various organisms would be difficult without suitable method of classification. If there is no classification, means what? We cannot able to study a particular living organism. So, classification is necessary. Okay. The method of arranging into groups, the method of arranging organisms into groups on the basis of similarities and differences is called classification. So, classification is the important criteria. Without classification, we cannot know the particular character of the species. So, what is classification? Classification is nothing but the method of arranging organisms into groups, very important word, into groups on the basis of similarities and differences. Clear? The next term is taxonomy. Taxonomy is nothing but it is a branch of science, deals with the study of with wide variety of organisms. Taxonomy is nothing but it is a branch of science of classification in which makes the study of wide variety of organisms easier. It also, taxonomy also help us to understand the relationship among different species of animals. Clear? The first systemic classification approach of classification of living organisms was made by a botanist, Swedish botanist called Carolus Linnaeus. See the picture, he is the Carolus Linnaeus. He only first introduced the systemic approach of classification of all living organisms. He generated the standard system for naming organisms in terms of genus, species, and more extensive grouping using Latin terms. Classification of living organisms. Classification, I already said, classification is nothing but ordering of organisms into groups on the basis of their similarities, differences, and relationships. The 5 kingdom classification are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. This 5 kingdom classification was first introduced by a scientist called R.H. Whittaker. He classified the living organisms into 5 major kingdoms. They are Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and Animalia. These groups are formed based on cell structure, mode of nutrition, body organization and reproduction. So all these groups are formed based on the cell structure. If it is prokaryotic or eukaryotic, it may be a single cell or a multiple cell. And then mode of nutrition, whether the particular organism belongs to autotrophs or heterotrophs, okay. And then body organization, tissue level organization, cellular level organization, organ level organization, like that. And then reproduction, it may be a sexual or asexual. So based on this, he grouped the organisms into 5 different kingdoms: Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and Animalia. You have Animalia, kingdom Animalia. This kingdom Animalia only we are going to discuss in detail. Clear? On the basis of hierarchy of classification, the organisms are separated into smaller and smaller groups which form the basic unit of classification. Smaller and smaller groups. The first one is species. Species is nothing but the lowest taxonomic category. Taxonomy means what? Taxonomy is nothing but a branch of science to study about the structure and classification of living organisms. So species is nothing but it is the lowest taxonomic category. Taxonomy is also nothing but arrangement, okay. So at next level is genus. It is a group of closely related species which constitute the next higher category called genus. For example, the Indian wolf, Canis papillis. The zoological name of Indian wolf is Canis papilli, and the Indian jackal, Canis auris, placed in the same genus. See here, the first word is called genus name and second one is called species name. So both Indian wolf and Indian jackal both are having the same genus, Canis, but they differ in their species. The next higher level is family. The group of genera, that is genus, which with several common characters or comes under, grouped under family. For example, leopard, tiger and cat. All these are share some common characteristics. So leopard, tiger and cat share their common characteristics and they belong to a larger cat family called Felidae, F-E-L-I-D-A-E. So all this leopard, tiger and cat, so all these organisms, all these animals comes under the family Felidae, that means F-E-L-I-D-A-E, Felidae. The next one is phylum. Classes which are related with one another constitute a phylum. The classes of different animals like mammals, birds, reptiles and fishes constitute phylum Chordata. Chordata is nothing but the particular organism have the notochord or backbone. Those animals having the backbone, they comes under Chordata. Okay, so classes of different animals like mammals, birds, reptiles and fishes constitute phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata is nothing but they have backbone. Okay. The highest category is kingdom. Kingdom is the highest, topmost category and the largest division to which microorganisms, plants and animals belongs to. I already said kingdom is the topmost category. There are about 5 kingdoms. This 5 kingdom classification was first introduced by R.H. Whittaker. He divided the organisms into 5 kingdoms. Kingdom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one is Monera, second one is Protista, the third one is Fungi, fourth one is Plantae, and fifth one is Animalia. So kingdom is the topmost category. Below that, phylum, class, order, genus, species is present. Okay. So each kingdom is fundamentally different from one another. Kingdom 1 is different from kingdom 2. Kingdom 2 is different from kingdom 3. All these kingdoms are differ from one another, and then but has the same fundamental characteristics in all living organisms grouped under that kingdom. Okay. Basis for classification. We can divide the animal kingdom based on the level of organization. Level of organization is nothing but arrangement of cells, and then body symmetry, germ layers, and nature of coelom. So based on these criteria, we divide the animal kingdom into different categories. So what are the basic criteria? Level of organization, levels of organization, that means arrangement of cells, body symmetry, germ layer, and the nature of coelom. The first one is level of organization. Animals are grouped as unicellular or multicellular. If the animal having only one cell means they are said to be unicellular animal or organism. For example, amoeba. So animals are grouped as unicellular or multicellular based on the number of cells, based on the cells, tissues, organ system. So all these are the criteria followed by the level of organization. Animals are grouped as unicellular or multicellular based on the cell, tissue, organ system of level of organization. The next one is symmetry. What is the meaning of symmetry? Symmetry is nothing but plane of arrangement. Symmetry is nothing but it is a plane of arrangement of body parts. There are two different types of symmetry. One is called radial symmetry and another one is called bilateral symmetry. In radial symmetry, the body parts are arranged around the central axis. See here, the body parts of this starfish are arranged in the central axis. This is the central axis. The body parts are arranged. See here, this is a hydra, structure of hydra. The body parts is arranged in the center axis, around the central axis. See, if the animal is cut through the central axis, this is the central axis, in any direction, this direction or this direction or this direction, whatever direction, if the animal is cut through the central axis in any direction, it can be divided into similar parts, similar halves. Halves means similar parts. So if we cut the organisms through the central axis, if we cut the organism through the central axis in any direction, it divide into similar halves. Example, hydra, jellyfish and starfish. See here, this is a structure of hydra. We cut the organism through the central axis in different direction. It gives the equal halves. So that is called radial symmetry. Radial symmetry is nothing but the body parts are arranged around the central axis. If we cut through the central axis in any direction, it gives the similar halves. That is called radial symmetry. Example, hydra, jellyfish and starfish. The next one is bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. The body parts are arranged along a central axis. If the animal is cut through the central axis, we get only two identical halves. Bilateral, bi means two. If we cut the body parts of the animal through the central axis, it gives only the two identical halves. Example, frog and tortoise. See the diagram of tortoise. This is the picture of tortoise. We cut the animals through the central axis, we get only two halves, one half and another half. So such type of arrangement, such type of symmetry is said to be bilateral symmetry. Bi means we are two, we are getting only two halves, that is called a bilateral symmetry. Here the radial versus bilateral symmetry. If we cut the body parts of the organism through the central axis in any direction, it will give equal parts, so many parts, all these are equal. So that type of symmetry is said to be radial. In case of bilateral, if we cut the body parts of the animal through the central axis, this is called central axis, we get only two halves. Such type of symmetry is said to be bilateral symmetry. Clear, children? The next one is germ layers. Germ layers are formed during the development of an embryo. These layers give rise to different organs as the embryo becomes an adult. Organisms with two germ layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. Diplo, D-I-P-L-O-B-L-A-S-T-I-C, diploblastic animals. Example, Hydra. If the organism having only two germ layer, one is outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, then they are said to be diploblastic animals. Example, Hydra. The next one is triploblastic animals. What is triploblastic animals? The organisms with the three germ layers, outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. Such type of animals are said to be triploblastic. Triplo means three. So three germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So they are called triploblastic animals. Example, rabbit. Clear? The next one is coelom. Coelom is nothing but a fluid filled body cavity. It separates the digestive tract from the body wall. A true body cavity or coelom is one that is located within the mesoderm. Mesoderm is nothing but ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. These are all the germ layers. Okay. Based on the nature of coelom, animals are divided into three groups. One is called acoelomate, second one is called pseudocoelomate and third one is called eucoelomate. Okay. So based on the nature of coelom, coelom is nothing but true body cavity. The space, cavity is nothing but space, body space. Okay. So the true body cavity or coelom, based on the nature of coelom, animals are divided into three groups. One is called acoelomate, another one is called pseudocoelomate and third one is called eucoelomate. So what is acoelomate? Acoelomate is nothing but they do not have a body cavity. A means absence of body cavity, absent. So body cavity is absent, hence it is called as acoelomate. Example, tapeworm. Second one is pseudocoelomate. Pseudo is nothing but false. So pseudocoelomate is nothing but they have the false body cavity. Example, roundworm. The last third one is eucoelomate. Eucoelomate means they have the true coelom, that means true body cavity. Example, earthworm and frog. Clear? See the diagram of the different types of coelom. The first one is acoelomate. Acoelomate is nothing but do not have body cavity. Second one is pseudocoelomate, false coelom, and third one is eucoelomate. Coelomate, they have body cavity. See, usually the body cavity is present in the mesoderm. Ectoderm is the outermost layer, mesoderm is the middle layer, endoderm is the inner layer. See here, the body cavity, this is called the body cavity. The particular organisms, chordates, molluscus, all these have a true coelom, having true body cavity in the mesoderm. Hence they are said to be coelomate. Here pseudocoelomate, they have false coelom, hence they are called pseudocoelomate. Clear? Animal kingdom is further divided into two groups based on the presence and or absence of notochord. Notochord is nothing but, I said, backbone. So first one is invertebrata, second one is chordata. Invertebrates means the organisms do not have the proper backbone. Second one is chordata. Chordata, in chordata it has two different groups. One is prochordata, another one is vertebrata. Animals which do not possess notochord, that means do not have notochord, are called invertebrates. Invertebrates means they do not have the backbone. Next one, animals which possesses notochord or backbone, and they are called as chordates. See, this is kingdom Animalia. We are learning this kingdom only. There are 5 different kingdom. Kingdom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th kingdom, kingdom Animalia. Level of organization. There are only 2 levels. Cellular level, another one is tissue or organ system levels. Symmetry, you know very well. 2 different types of symmetry. One is called radial symmetry, another one is called bilateral symmetry. And body cavity or coelom, pseudocoelomate, acoelomate and coelomate. There are 3 different types of coelom, and the last one is phylum. In kingdom Animalia, we have 10 phylum. The first one is phylum Porifera, second one is Coelenterata, third one is Platyhelminthes, fourth one is Aschelminthes, fifth one is Annelida, sixth one Arthropoda, seventh one Mollusca, eighth one Echinodermata, ninth one Hemichordata, and final 10th one is phylum Chordata. Okay, so these are all the phylums comes under kingdom Animalia. Okay, so in kingdom Animalia they divide the organisms into 4 different categories based on the level of organization, symmetry, body cavity. So this is the classification of animal kingdom, kingdom Animalia, based on the common features. Once again I am repeat the name of the phylum. Phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Aschelminthes, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, phylum Echinodermata, phylum Hemichordata, and last one is phylum Chordata. Clear, children? So please practice this to pronounce it. It is very difficult for you to pronounce. Clear? Thank you, children. We will see in the next class.